I'm in Shenandoah National Park, and this is Roach Gap. Parking area here. There's my little red car. Nice little parking area here, and today I am going to start out heading down that Fireroad down the east side of the mountain for a ways, and then we're going to hang a left on a service road that takes us up to Hightop Hut up that way, and then back down here on the Appalachian Trail, and then we'll shoot across the road and hike south on the Appalachian Trail down to the next gap down that way, which is Powell Gap. The elevation here is 2620. Eight-tenths of a mile into my hike. I've been climbing the mountain. I'm up to 2840, and here's the intersection with the service road that goes up to Hightop Hut. That's it right there. Here's where I came from, Roach Gap, and then this road continues on down the east side of the mountain all the way to the bottom. But we're going to turn left here, and yeah, this looks kind of steep, and we're going to head on up to Hightop Hut. .4 miles into my hike. The elevation here is 3140, and this is the intersection with the Appalachian Trail. There's the service road I came up on. They're keeping that mowed pretty good. It's in pretty good shape. Here's the AT. That's heading back down towards Roach Gap. You can see the white blaze on the tree. And there's a concrete signpost, and this is the AT headed northbound. I can see a white blaze down there, but we're gonna just keep going straight through the intersection up this way. About another 2/10 of a mile, we'll be up to the hut. I'll take a break there. On my way back, I'm coming back this intersection, and we're going to turn right and head back down to the gap along the AT, just to be doing something different. .6 miles into my hike. The elevation here is 3170, and this is the Hightop Hut. I'll get some stills. There's camp spots over here, and back the way I came in, which is this way, is the spring. I'll be going out that way, and we'll find the composting privy here in a minute, get a shot of that too. Here's the privy. It's one of the new composting type. I think they've pretty much changed them all out in the park here now. I've explained how they work before. And it looks like right there they covered up the hole where the old pit privy used to be. There's another hole back there. So over the years, looks like they might have filled in 2 holes, and then they finally, let me back up here, and they finally put this thing in here. I was up here about maybe 10 years ago, and this thing was full of bees, the way I remember it, but I don't see any now, so I guess they got them cleared out. Oh, there's the hut, and here's what a typical camping pad looks like. I think it rained up here last night, and then here's another one. Of course, you have to walk through that campsite to get to this one. Oh, maybe not. Here you go. There's a straight path right there. Back to the hut. Came down to see the spring before I leave Hightop Hut. I must say it is quite a descent getting down here, and slippery too. It's I guess it rained here last night. All the rocks are wet and slippery. It's a pretty good descent getting down here though. Here's the signpost. It tells you to boil the water for 1 full minute before drinking it. And let's see if I can get over here. There you go. Two miles into my hike, I'm back to the intersection with the AT. There's the, that's where it came from. That's the service road going up to the hut. And I'm going to turn right here and descend back down to Roach Gap, and then cross over Skyline Drive and continue hiking south on the AT down to the next gap beyond that, which is Powell Gap. .1 miles into my hike, I'm back down to Roach Gap. Elevation is 2620. That's where I came from. There's my car right there. There's my little red car. And I'm going to cross, there's the AT right there. And we're going to cross over here and follow the AT on up this mountain here, which is called Round Top. And then down to Powell Gap and back. 4.5 miles into my hike. I'm at 2,420 feet. Still on the AT. I'm almost down to Powell Gap though. That's where I came from. So I'm descending. And when I got in this area, I was looking for an old abandoned road from an old map, like 1930s map. I'll show you when I do the map talk. And this is it right here. I found it. Let me walk back in here just for a second. I hiked up it just a short distance to establish a GPS track, but this is it right here. So the first part of it's cleared off like this, but then when you get further back in there, it's all overgrown like waist-high weeds. So I'll come back this winter and hike it and see exactly where it goes, because this looks like back in the day this is a fairly wide road. I mean, it was definitely a major way of getting around here. This mountain's called Round Top, so instead of going over the top, they're going around the side. So anyway, I'm heading down to the gap. There's parts of this AT that are pretty steep, so I don't know, I might loop back to my car just on Skyline Drive, because that'll be a lot flatter. We'll see how lazy I feel when I get down to the gap. .8 miles into my hike. The elevation here is 2295, and there's the Appalachian Trail. I just came out of the woods there. There's the mountain I just came down off of. I don't think I want to climb back up on top of that thing again to get back to my car, so I may just go back on hike Skyline Drive back. Here's the gap, and the AT comes out of the woods there, goes across Skyline Drive, and goes back into the woods right over there. So I found up that way about a quarter of a mile, I found that abandoned road. I'm going to come back this winter and bushwhack that, see where that takes me. And I'll also, across the road here, somewhere in all that overgrowth down the side of the mountain this way, a quarter of a mile or so, gets you to the park boundary over here. So I'll have to bushwhack that also. And then there's the Appalachian Trail. .5 miles into my hike. The elevation here is 2450, and this is the Bacon Hollow overlook. I'll do a 180-degree sweep. Looking down to Bacon Hollow. Rock slide. From up there somewhere. This is a map of today's hike. The quadrangle name is Swift Run Gap, 1997, and I hiked the Hightop Service Road up to the Hightop Shelter and also a stretch of the Appalachian Trail. I parked here at Roach Gap. This is mile marker 69, and you can park on the south side of Skyline Drive. There's a parking lot here. Parked here, and then from there you'll see the service road, Roach Gap Service Road. I hiked down this road for a little over a mile, I guess. And then when you get to this intersection here, you hang a left and hike up this road. This is the Hightop Shelter Service Road. This is fairly steep. You'll cross the Appalachian Trail right here and continue north up to the shelter. So I explored the shelter for a while. Then I came back, took a right on the Appalachian Trail, which is this trail right here, back down the mountain, crossed over Roach Gap and Skyline Drive, continue southbound on the Appalachian Trail. Now when I got on this stretch of the AT, I was hiking this because I'd never hiked it before, but I was going to take a look for any evidence of these homesteads. There's one here and one over here. This section up through here is really overgrown, so I'll have to go back this winter looking for that. Couldn't see anything. Hiked down this stretch of the Appalachian Trail. Now actually this map's not correct anymore. The AT trail actually comes up like this and then makes a sharp bend south right there at point number 1. When I got to this point right here, I started looking around for evidence of the old road that came up like this. I drew it in a pink. That's the old road. It's abandoned now. And when you're coming down through here, you won't even notice it unless you know to look for it. But I did find it, and I hiked a small stretch of it just to establish a GPS track from here to here. So I'll go back in the wintertime and bushwhack this road and see where it leads. I'll show you a map from 1937 here in a minute that shows you these. There's a fairly extensive network of these old roads up through here. Anyway, hiked this on down to Powell Gap. And then rather than climbing Round Top Mountain again on the way back, I decided just to take the easy way. And I hiked back to my car like this on Skyline Drive. And that took me past this overlook, which is Bacon Hollow Overlook. Bacon Hollow is down here off the map to the south. Now let me show you an older map from 1937. This is Elkton, 1937. And this is Roach Gap, where I started my hike. There's Round Top Mountain. And down here's Powell Gap. Now, I'm going to pull back a little bit. I highlighted all the old roads in pink. You can see there's quite a network of them going through there. And the part that I hiked is this little area right in here. So I'll go back this winter and I want to at least hike this road. Maybe ideally I can hike it up here and cross this stream and follow this all the way back around to Roach Gap right here. Maybe. We'll have to see. Ended up being 6.2 miles and a total ascent of 1,169 feet. And that's the hike for today.